were on bond for theft,
Yes, sir.
and now you've picked up another. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
On February 17th, 2025, an officer was sitting in a Walmart parking lot and observed a male wearing a black jacket, red shirt, and brown pants running at a full sprint from the front of the store with what appeared to be a large box holding near his waist and trying to conceal with a jacket. The officer shouted to the male to stop running approximately 60 feet away. The defendant stopped, made eye contact with the officer, and entered the passenger side of a motor vehicle. The officer shouted for both occupants to stop, at which time the motor vehicle sped off, exiting the parking lot. The officer was advised by another officer.
All right, folks. Here we go, buckle up. It starts with a scene we've all seen too many times. Flashing police lights, tight handcuffs, and a suspect who just doesn't seem to understand how serious things are. It's February 17th, 2025. An officer spots a man bolting out of a Walmart, running like he's in a race, carrying a box that looks like it shouldn't be his. The officer shouts at him. The man turns, makes eye contact and, instead of stopping, he jumps into a waiting car and takes off. Yes, you heard that right. Middle of the day, no attempt to hide. He just runs, jumps in, and tries to get away. Police follow and soon catch up with him at a nearby Valero gas station. They pull him in, confirm his identity and, sure enough, they recognize him. This isn't his first time in trouble. He's already got other charges hanging over him like a dark cloud.
That he was behind the motor vehicle at a Valero gas station parking lot. The defendant was detained and recognized as the same person observed to run away from the store. The complainant, a loss prevention associate, provided video showing the defendant walking past all points of sales with a speaker, total value $289, and the defendant was later ID'd by his Texas driver's license.
He's on bond for a prior assault.
Cool, here's the bottom line. Loss prevention wasn't guessing, they had the receipts. Clear video footage showed this guy walking right past every checkout lane with a $289 speaker in hand. No bag, no hesitation, no attempt to pay, just cool as ever. Strolling out the front door like nothing happened. When officers checked his ID, it came back to a Texas driver's license. And guess what? He was already out on bond for assault and theft. Now here he is, caught red-handed again. The system had given him a break before, hoping he'd turn things around. But this is strike two and it's obvious he hasn't learned a thing. Instead of straightening up, he's racking up new charges like poker chips on the table. And the courts, they're not impressed.
For prior theft, yes.
Right. Was that at the Walmart? And did we order him not to go to a Walmart?
That prior theft was from a Home Depot, Judge.
I can't continue to give you PR bonds, Mr. Mary.
Yes, sir.
You continue to pick up cases. What am I supposed to?
I'm picking up.
Stop.
Yes.
I'm not asking you to talk. I'm just telling you, I'm not going to continue to give you PR bonds. You're going to stay with me. You picked up a bond while you're on bond. I told you not to pick up any more cases. You've now picked up another case.
Nobody told me anything. The first time was,
Stop. I'm revoking your bond. I'm putting you in jail now. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer and we'll talk and we'll figure out where to go from here. But this is the third PR bond now. No, sir.
isn't that three?
Well, this is where things get serious. The judge isn't here for stories or second chances. I told you not to get into any more trouble, she says firmly. And just like that, his bond, revoked, gone. This isn't a playground. This is a courtroom, she continues. You're staying in custody. A third personal bond. Not happening. This defendant keeps pushing boundaries like they don't matter. And when he's called out, denial. Nobody told me anything, he mutters. The judge cuts him off. This is not a negotiation. The courtroom doesn't want drama. They want responsibility, action, and some basic respect for the law.
It's three.
But it's not me though. I only have two.
This is not a negotiation right now.
Two.
I will appoint you a lawyer. I want you to talk to someone and then we'll figure out where we're going from here.
And
We're approaching with Mr. John Mary. We have a plea that should be before the bench.
Oh, on both.
Yes, sir.
Did you just get appointed today?
I did.
Did you want time to look to see about any discovery or anything?
Well, I've spoken with Mr. Mary, And I've gone through the offense report, at least what's here in the Dems. One of the theft cases is for $103. The other one is like $289. And, he is under the impression that, you know, that taking a plea on this case would be more beneficial for him because he can't afford to pay two $5,000 bonds.
No more free rides. Now sitting beside a new attorney, the defendant finally hears the cold facts. To theft charges, one for $13, the other for $289. That's what's on the record. His lawyer leans in and says it plainly. You need to take the plea deal. Why? Because there's no way he can afford $25,000 in bond. At this point, it's not even about whether he's guilty or not, it's about staying out of jail. Everyone in the courtroom sees what's happening. The system doesn't want people to plead just because they're broke. But when your back's against the wall, and there are no more second chances left, a plea deal starts to look like the only way out. This might be his last shot to avoid a longer stay behind bars.
Mr. Mary, all I want are my streets to be safe. That's all I want. We gave you a PR bond on your first case. You took off. You didn't come back. We gave you another PR bond. And this time, on the new PR bond, you picked up another case.
That's true.
The point I'm trying to make is
Okay.
I don't want people to plead guilty just to get out. That's not what I want.
Yes, sir.
What I want is no more issues. That's what I want. So I don't want him to plead guilty just to get out. And I feel that that's happening here. So
Time to face the consequences. The judge doesn't sugarcoat it. All I care about is keeping the streets safe, she says. You got a break with your first bond, you disappeared. Then you got arrested again. This isn't justice. This is a revolving door, and it needs to stop. She's not interested in empty promises. I don't want someone pleading guilty just to walk free, she adds. I want real accountability, and here's the warning. If there's one more slip up, we're not talking about jail anymore. We're talking felony charges. This defendant is walking a legal tightrope, and the rope's wearing thin. One wrong move, and it could all come crashing down.
if I give you a third chance, how do I know you're not going to pick up yet another case? Mr. Mary, we have resources here. All you have to do is ask. If you want food, if you want clothes, if you want something to, eat, if you need a place to sleep, if you want a job, we have resources for you. All you have to do is ask. But this is a problem because this,
Yeah, I know.
with this right here, pick up another one, you're now looking at a felony charge.
This is the final warning. The judge looks him straight in the eye and says, "You've got one last chance. No more Home Depot. No more Walmart. No more nonsense." She's firm but fair. If you need help, food, clothes, shelter, a job, we can connect you. But you have to ask. You have to take responsibility. It's a moment of truth. The court is offering him a lifeline, but, make no mistake, it's the last one. This isn't about being soft. It's about drawing the line. There's a difference between giving someone a second chance and getting taken for a ride. And this judge, she's not here to be played.
Your Honor, on that first case, it looks as if those were work tools that he was appropriating. On the second,
Let's not talk. Look, I don't want you to plead guilty just to get out. That's not the way that, but I'm going to tell you now that I don't like to play games. If I give you another PR bond, and look me now, because if I find that you pick up another case or you don't show up to court, we will have issues. And I'm telling you, I will not do it. This just to plead guilty to get out. It's not going to happen. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will give you another chance. I don't want you to go to any more Home Depots. I don't want you to go to any more.
This isn't a game. The judge lays it out plainly. The past, it's rough stolen tools, missed, court dates, and chances wasted. She's not looking for another excuse or sob story. She wants real change. Look me in the eye, she says. This isn't about outsmarting the system. It's about respecting it. One more missed hearing. One more new charge and that's it. No more leniency. No more courtroom roulette. This is about taking responsibility, facing the consequences, and maybe just maybe choosing a different path before it's too late.
It was what, Walmart? Right?
Let me double check your honor.
No Walmart. Do you understand? Any of them. No Home Depots. And I will have you speak to counsel now so that whatever you need, we can try to get for you.
Yes, sir.
You understand? But this is not a good way to just, it's setting you up to fail. And that's not what we do. You understand, Mr. Mary? Okay. I'm going to grant you a PR bond on both cases. But we need to find out where we're going to go next because I don't want any more issues. You must appear in court every single time, and I want you to stay in contact with counsel. He's going to give you his cell or a number to him. There's no excuse why you can't get in touch with him. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Really, I'm not asking much. Just don't pick up any new cases and stay in contact with counsel. That's all I'm asking you to do. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is not the right way. All right.
Understand.
So if you don't mind speaking to him real quick
Thank
to
you.
see what we can work out for any kind of resources he may need.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Vision. All right, one last chance. The judge says. He's granted personal recognizance, PR bonds on both charges, but the conditions are strict. Every court date is now non-negotiable. He has to stay in touch with his lawyer at all times. No excuses. No disappearing acts. The message is crystal clear. This is it. No more mistakes. This isn't about giving up on someone, it's about offering one final chance to turn things around. But if he messes up again, there won't be another break. Time's running out. The community is watching, and this story, it's far from over.